Hey everyone, how's it going? So now what we're going to do is work onto the tabs here. If I show you on my finished site, you'll see that we've got these two tabs. But we're going to do these tabs inside of a mixin function, just like we did with the follow button, because these tabs will be used on other places in our site as well. For example, on the search page, we're going to have tabs too. So yeah, those tabs are what we're going to create now. So go back to our mixins.pug file. So mixins.pug. And then right at the bottom, we will create a class, a mixin function called create tab. Now this function will just create one tab, it won't create multiple. Now it's going to have three parameters, a name, an href, and is selected, which will be a boolean, so true or false based on whether this is the selected tab or not. Okay, so what we'll do first is create a pug variable, so using the dash, and then the name of it is going to be class name, and this will be equal to, we'll check the is selected variable, which is right here, passed into this function. So add the question mark, so if this is selected, so if is selected as true, then the class is going to be tab active, so it will have both of those classes. If is selected as false, so this is not the active tab, we'll just add the class tab, that's it. Okay. So underneath that, we'll just say a, so we're adding href, and the href itself is going to be just this href value from here, which we're passing into this function, and then the class name is going to be just class name, which is of course right here. Now the very last thing is just to add a span, and we can just put the tab name, so just put name in there. I guess you could call this text if you wanted to, but it doesn't matter. And that's it, this function is done. Let's just go and call it now. So copy the create tab name, go back to profilepage.pug, and then underneath there, underneath the profile header container. So this one's going to be in line with the profile header container element, not in line with these ones right here, in line with this one. And this will be, dot tabs container. And inside there is where we'll call this function. So just to remind you one more time, make sure it's in line with the profile header container and not in line with these ones. We don't want this inside the profile header container. Okay, so let's call this function. So add the plus and then create tab. Remember the plus, that's how you call mixin functions. So the name of this tab is going to be posts, and the href, I'll use backtick so we can inject variables. And we'll say slash profile slash, and then let's put in there $ with curly brackets profile user dot username, and the very last value is going to be the is selected. And to do that, how are we going to do this? Let's just pass in true for now, and then duplicate that line below, change this one to replies, so this will be the replies tab. This part can stay the same, but then right at the end we're going to add replies as the link. And the reason we're not going to add posts here like that is because post will be the default. So if there's no page name specified, tab name specified, we'll just use the post tab. So basically we have to specify replies here, otherwise it will load the post tab. And let's just set this one to false as well, but we will come back and actually do those values for real very shortly. And that's it, that should add the tabs for us. Let's refresh the page. Okay, so they look like just spans for now, but that's because they are, so let's add some style to that. So the first thing we'll style then, right at the bottom, is going to be the tabs container element, which is the parent element of the tabs. And this is going to have display flex. We'll say border bottom is going to be 1px solid, and then we'll just put var dash dash light gray, and this will add the same border that we see everywhere else on our site, this one right here. Okay, and then we're also going to add flex shrink and set that to 0. I'll say it again, you won't notice this unless you run this in Safari, so don't worry about it, just add it. It just covers us for the user that's using Safari. Okay, that's fine. Underneath that, we'll add a tab style. So with styling the element with the class tab. we'll say flex 1, and that didn't do anything. Why is that not doing anything? Let me go back to here and check the element. So we're going to the, where are we? Tabs container. Okay, so there's the issue. We got class name there instead of class. Okay, this is a good opportunity to take our code that we just wrote, copy it, the CSS code, and then let's go and add it to our CSS file, and then we'll fix that issue in the mixins.pug. So I used class name there. It should just be class. That's my mistake. Okay, let's refresh the page now. And you'll see that flex1 has given both of those equal width of the container, because the parent tabs container has display flex. So by specifying flex1, all of the children can split the width. Okay, height is going to be 52 pixels. We'll then say display flex. Justify content is going to be center, so it centers those those spans inside of it. We'll then say align items is also going to be center, so it centers it vertically as well. Color, we'll say var and then dash dash gray text, and then font weight is going to be bold. All right, great. Now let's do one more thing underneath that. We'll say .tab and then .active, and the active tab is going to have a blue text color, so color is going to be var dash dash blue, and then it will also have a border bottom of 2px solid, and then var dash dash blue. Now, I thought that was it, but there's just one more little thing to do, and that's to add a hover style to the active tab. So underneath there, .tab, and then .hover, oh sorry, colon hover. So .tab, colon hover, and then color is going to be var dash dash blue, oops, dash dash blue, and then finally background color is going to be var dash dash blue background. And now if I hover on one of these, you see it gets this blue background, okay? And that's it for that. We've styled the tabs now. Let's take all that code, go back to our CSS file, and just paste that in there, and give it a save. And we are good. Let's refresh the page, make sure we still see it, and we do.